release management strategy and optimizing the.
So if you think about it, right, there's multiple projects that may deploy in a release. And so
Mm-hmm.
in essence, it's really being able to um, plan and see when the release dates are in terms of when the business wants these, in it coupled with how we can optimize like light components. So for example, if one project requires us updating the same kind of components, then we might as well group them together and maybe even come up with a speedier delivery than what they want. So it's
Okay.
really taking into account um, the desired deployment date that they want, with the impact of what the changes we need to make with the application,
Got it.
as well
Okay.
as well as the and all that is considered, our environments, and who do we need to involve with the testing, integration testing, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
and then from there, I just take basically just work with the project managers to kind of to get the details needed to create the release plan. And then from there, I would be the one that would be I manage the going in releases. So during the time frame that projects are going in, I would be the one that to coordinate everybody, all the business impacts, all the people that needed to be involved with our deployments, and all the other applications that need to perform checkout. Um, so I would basically be that kind of that coordinator, if you will, and then really just manage and oversee and execute on the deployment of it, as well
Okay.
as any kind of post warranty or post production issues that are resulting from anything that we rolled out.
Okay. So, you again
Stuff.
manage the.
Yeah,
Sorry. Sorry, go
same kind
on.
of. Yeah. Oh, go
Okay,
ahead.
so
Go ahead.
so you again manage the enterprise ledger generation system as the
Yes.
release manager as well, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And again, this when you say provide details about the system, so basically what this system does, it provides letter generation correspondence of all um, anything going out to members, providers,
Mm-hmm.
members, partners, any kind of business constituents that we have for the enterprise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, makes sense. I think you also explained this earlier on about how that letter is generated automatically, how you automated that process of where each letter is going out to four different.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Hello?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's the same thing, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So there's multiple touch points in terms of how this,
Hmm.
with the process of the application. Yep.
Okay, so we've discussed this already. Great. Okay. So you
Well,
also organized and led deployment meetings and developed detailed release plans for both scheduled and unscheduled integrated releases. We've already talked about how you managed releases, right? So what
yeah.
about the meetings? What steps did you take to develop these plans? What was the process of coming up with strategic uh, with the strategy release management strategy that.
Well, the biggest challenge is really being able to align testing with
Mm-hmm.
the our integrating partners. So there's a lot of touch points where our application. So it's not just us. So we just can't deploy it on our own
Mm-hmm.
because other applications use our service as well, right? So it's really, and they also may be impacted by a change that they need to make to be able to um, support the capability that we're trying to roll out.
Okay.
So it's really. the biggest challenges is the biggest challenges are really aligning to those integration dates, because if those integration dates don't align, then it could do one of two things. It can delay your project because
Mm-hmm.
one cannot deploy without the others being tested, or we deploy and then we have to work with the business to get them to approve and accept the risk that without testing this, we're at risk of, we may have a problem after we implement, or have to implement without testing a particular piece of it.
Okay, so you're saying that these deployments were interdependent, right?
Yes, yes, very
So
much so.
how?
And on upstream, downstream applications,
Mhm,
for coordinating the actual, not only the testing of it, but
mhm.
also the deployment of it, and then testing it out, doing post-production checkouts.
So how did you ensure that the dates aligned?
Really, it's just a matter of coordinating and working with the other release managers or upstream applications. So it's that negotiation.
Got
These are
it.
three
Okay.
negotiations, right? And then once they're
Mm-hmm.
negotiated, then you have to get then we get engage our business sponsors to be able to hear the issue and to be able to approve, and sign off on whether it's you're delaying it or we're going to bring it up because of X, Y, and Z. So it's selling them the idea based on initial conversations with the other applications.
Got it. Okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. This, I think this also ties in with just managing the release calendar, right?
Yeah,
If you
exactly,
manage the calendar and schedule, then you know that the dates align and everything is cohesive, correct?
exactly. Because there's there's a calendar already established for integrated releases, and so we know we have to hit those dates, and we know we have to, because the problem is outages.
Mm-hmm.
If one application is hard on it, they may not let us deploy outside of those dates because of their outage windows. And so it's really just all that coordination.
Okay, so since you were already managing releases, did you have a say in the calendar establishment? Did you do that, or was it predetermined and you just
But,
had to follow it?
well, they're predetermined. However, what goes in and what doesn't is what the art was, based on that
Okay,
calendar, the impact.
got
Now,
it.
it doesn't mean to say that we were um, we can deviate from that calendar. That doesn't mean that we can deviate from it, assuming that, um, number one, the other applications that are impacted also agree, and
Mm-hmm.
that our business partners agree to it, and or assume any kind of risk that may be associated with doing it those dates.
Got it. Okay. So the second last point is that you delivered all development releases for a 10 million portfolio on time and on budget with zero post-production related defects. So this
Hmm.
basically means that the portfolio for the company was the value was 10 million, right? And obviously post-production there were no issues, no bugs, everything was seamless, correct?
Correct.
So
And then
that's
how did
pretty
how did we show on time delivery? Is really just, again, it's managing the expectation, right?
makes sense.
Because if you think about it, right, when I say on time delivery, I can say that it was originally, desired this date, but we actually implemented it in a month out. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
I can say it's on time because we ran into these problems, we ran into these issues, but we were able to negotiate and obtain acceptance from, whichever parties to be able to implement and deploy on time, and that on time is this particular date because of these issues. That's what I meant by that, right?
Okay, so makes sense. You're right. So managing expectations. Okay. Hmm. You also implemented. all governance for processes for software releases. What processes did you implement to
I don't know.
streamline the release life cycle?
Okay. So the governance of this is really just, going through. We have a checklist, like a release checklist.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is like you
Oh.
did our release entry framework, meaning that we met with our operations team, and we ended up ensuring that we did our turnover, we did X, Y, and Z. So that's like a checklist. The other one is that we have um, all of our design documentation, our testing documentation. We have what we call an ADR, application document repository, where each
Mm-hmm.
project has, a set of, it's waterfall documents, right? So you have your requirements doc,
Mm-hmm.
you have your design doc, it's approved, your technical specs, your unit testing, um, your test plans and your test results. And if you have any performance testing that you did, those are all signed off and approved. So those are all internal documentations that we have to also go through, ensure that we have all of our compliancy and our sign-offs before we say it's a go, the release is a go. So that's what that meant.
Okay, got it. So that pretty much covers all the bullets here as well. Do you have anything else to add for this? Can you think of any other achievements or challenges from your time as a release manager?
No, that was it. That's all that I had.
Okay, so your education is stated here. You have a certification in project management,
Hmm.
and I've listed all your technical proficiencies. So that pretty much wraps up our interview. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think, um, I don't know, I mean, kind of what you learned from me and what you've gathered and kind of what I've documented here. I mean, do you think you can put together something that's like a wow kind of, you know?
Definitely, definitely. Don't worry, you will see. You've given me a lot of information to work with.
Well, I talked to Fatima the other
Hmm.
on Friday, right? And the feedback that she gave me is that it's missing context. So I'm hoping that you have the context that will help support some of the information that I documented. So again,
Ex-
you know, it's a long process, but I'm hoping that we can, expedite it and get what I need out there soon so that I can start marketing myself.
Definitely, don't worry about it. And she was right. It was the key ingredient that was missing was that we couldn't like reading your resume, we couldn't tell what the core of your accomplishments were built on. So now
Oh,
that I have all the context, I can formulate that. I can showcase each step in a way that is easy for readers to digest and not
yes.
complicated in the way that you want a person to look at your resume and just easily capture the accomplishments that we're trying to display. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yep, I agree. Yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, actually, I don't. Wait. Okay, so all I need now is I need you to send me the other job postings that you had your eye on.
Oh,
So
okay.
that will help me figure out
Okay.
a direction for the
You know what?
resume. But
You know what?
regardless,
You know
sorry.
what? Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. You know what I can do is, I started to put together this company list that has some of the
Mm-hmm.
that has some of the job listings. But again, I just started it, and if I can send this to you, this would be good. And it has the AAA stuff in there. It has some Marriott stuff. It's got Anthem, it's got Memorial Care, but again, I haven't really gone out to start looking yet because of this blockage. I didn't have a
Oh,
resume that I can showcase yet, so that's why. But
okay.
if I can give you this, this should be a start, and I have links to it. I added links to it.
Okay, then if you could then email me those links and I'll take a look at those.
Okay, so what's your email address, Sarah? And then I'll send it right now. I'll have it.
It uh why don't you just reply back to the call prep email? That way I'll have
Oh,
everything in one place.
okay, perfect, perfect. I can send this. And then again,
Okay.
these are if you can we do this? Can you give me until maybe tomorrow, and what I can do is start just looking around and just kind of
Sure,
see,
sure.
or did you need it immediately?
No, no, I don't need it immediately. Take your time. You can send it by tomorrow. And
Okay.
just bear in mind that once I establish the timeline from the beginning of your career,
Hmm.
I might leave some dates out if I'm not sure about it. So that way you can always add in those dates later, okay?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Are we set up another follow-up call or what?
No, I don't think I need it. If I do, I'll let you know. If you want a follow-up call, let me know. If you need anything, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll have your documents ready in 7 days.
Okay, so when do you think will that also be the
The
will that also
LinkedIn,
the
yes,
LinkedIn?
and the cover letter, yes.
Okay. Well, you know what I did was I went into LinkedIn, I put my picture my picture in there. I'm not sure if you saw that, but did you need a
Mm-hmm.
password or anything like that?
No, no, no. What I'll do is I'll make your LinkedIn content and I'll send it to you in a Word document. So what you will do is you'll just copy paste that into your own LinkedIn account. So I don't
Oh,
need to access your LinkedIn at all. Yes.
oh, really? Okay. But everything is essentially kind of the same formats that they ask.
Yes, everything. The LinkedIn document will have instructions to each and every step, so
Oh, okay.
you'll know how to go about it.
Okay, and then from there I may need to call you after that though, but for now,
Okay,
okay.
that's not an issue. Okay, great. Do you have any other questions for me?
No. So what are we looking at in terms of getting a first draft out? What do you think? You said seven
Uh,
days. So next
7 days,
Monday?
yes.
You think
Yes,
that?
probably next Monday. Yes.
Okay. All right.
If it's it could even be before that. I'll I'll see how in depth this is, and I'll get back to you then.
Okay. And is this a good number
Great.
to get to you, or is this or normally just email?
Email. It's
Just
normally just email. I need everything documented. It's easier.
okay. Okay. I will do that, and I'll. The only thing that I owe you then is just the the list of other
The job listings.
jobs. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'll give that to you by tomorrow.
Well, okay, great. Thank you so much for your time and thank you for explaining everything so clearly.
I
And
hope
it was a
help.
pleasure. It was a pleasure interviewing you.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay. You
Bye.
too. Bye. Thank you.